What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. And today we have the show for you. Now, since I've started covering Candace Owens, I've been getting a lot of pushback, I've had a lot of people saying, Pearl, you can't go after Candace. You can't. Hey, man, leave her alone. Hey, Pearl, well, I'm not staying. But after you coming after Candace, I've been watching you when you had 225,000 subs and I did your 24-hour streams, but you have gone down the wrong path. I don't know why you're going after her now. This is so foolish. I've been following you for a long time, but you're going down the wrong path. You need to be better. Now, I don't really like this criticism. I don't think as a woman, when you're on the internet, that you're in a protected class. I think, women, we have fought to be treated as men are treated. And there are many men that are criticized every day. Tim Pool's criticized. Crowder is criticized. All of these men are criticized and nobody white knights for them. I'm sorry. Nobody dies on the hill of these men. But whenever you attack a woman, and this is kind of feminism in action I'm showing. I'm not even attacking, right? I am criticizing what she's doing, which, when you talk on the internet, that's kind of what happens. I get criticized every day of my life. But I think as women, there's probably like 2 women that are watching. You need to be really aware of these kinds of women because they're gonna send you down a path of destruction. They hate masculinity, and they're kind of going nuts. I should stay out of politics. Now, I understand that criticism, right? I should stay out of politics. If you're criticizing commentators about their politics, then, well, you're just being a commentator and you're a woman as well. Well, we're going to substantiate your claim. I'm going to agree with you and disagree, like the woman I am. I would say I'm a self-aware show. I know I fall short. I know I probably don't even deserve to be here. I'm very lucky to be here, and I know this. But I look at myself as the solution to feminism. All these women are going out beating their chest, right? And all the men will come back at them. But when a man goes for a woman, it's just not the same vibe. Like, how do I put this? They're going to be criticized and saying, oh, you're obsessed with her. You want to sleep with her. I'd rather they go after me because I'm going to be saying what a lot of men are thinking. Because a lot of these women are in the kitchen, but they can't really handle the heat. And on top of that, I talk about social trends, right? And so like I kind of talk about psychology and, the patterns of behavior you're going to see. She's going to get criticized like anyone else. If anything, I'm a feminist. I'm a true feminist. I'm saying, men get criticized. We get criticized too. Yeah. And I've actually been really disappointed in my audience lately. I didn't think you guys were this big of simps. I'm like, how are you guys watching this show and white knighting? Now, the next criticism is I got the call that somehow the Jays, I guess, are controlling me, that because I'm going after a woman. And that's what I do, right? I go after women all the time. I'm eating blackberries today. I'm on this terrible diet without sugar, and I've been dying. That somehow I'm paid by the Jays. Now, if anyone from the Jays would like to pay me, please email me. Pearl Davis at theaudacitynetwork.com. Pearl Davis at theaudacitynetwork.com. But no, I mean, look, I'm open. You know what I mean? If you can't beat them, join them. I'll join you. But yeah, no call here. Yeah, and I'm going to kind of go over this when I talk about this. I'm going to go over what happens to women like Candace, and you're going to see this. It's not really about Candace, right? Candace is an example, but you're going to see this in your personal life. That's kind of why I cover it, is because women like Candace, I grew up around women. Candace, Lila Rose, Allie Beth Stuckey. I have watched women destroy what men have created, and the things that I used to love. I used to love conservative politics. I used to be a diehard Catholic, and then women get in and they ruin it. So it's not, it's really not about Candace, but it is about the psychology that comes with women like Candace, which is most women. I'm not even claiming that I'm better, right? I mean, in a lot of ways, I'm terrible too. I am, there's times where I think and do fucked up things, and I just think I wish that I was a better person. Like I really wish I was, but I'm a flawed human being. But I can identify this kind of thing. That is something that I'm an expert on. Pearl, good stuff as always. Sadly, many people I used to work with have suffered TDS, including War Carol. It's appalling. I don't know, Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah. And by the way, guys, I am actually going to be calling you to wish you a happy holiday. And I sent an email out this morning. Me and Doug MPA, 50-50 shot in who you get. We'll alternate for next time. If you have subscribed to the Audacity Network in the past 2 years, I will call you. All I need is I have you in my system if you've ever subscribed. You just got to show me the email you signed up with, and we'll be calling you and thanking you, saying hi, getting to know you in the next few weeks. So probably next week I'll start. You need to go to the audacitynetwork.com, $10 a month, $80 a year. And it's going to be cool because you guys are actually going to get input into some of the content we're making. I really want to talk to you guys. I have a new editor and producer here the last 6 to 8 months. I've gone through like 3 or 4 the last 2 years, but I found one and they're really good. But we've had to kind of work with them, a new content system. I moved. So once I got through that, now I'm ready to hang out and talk with you guys. You know what I mean? And I'm open to, critique, criticism, input. I just ordered 100 t-shirts. I'm doing an in-house t-shirt machine. And so, if you're in the group, you can even input what kind of t-shirts we're going to get. They're black, short sleeve. There's only 100. I want to see, you can see the press right there. I want to see if I can do this t-shirt thing in-house. I don't know. Candace is cool because she's anti-Semitic. Look, well, the way I look at that whole thing, and I'm really not, I'm not into the J stuff. And the reason it's not because I'm like, people say you're scared or you're this or that. I just know when something's out of my depth. I can't tell you anything about war. That's out of my scope. I wish I had the #1 podcast. Well, it would be nice, but I don't think I would deserve it. I don't think Candace deserves it either, and I'm going to explain why. Again, Candace is the arc, and as a woman, you have to be aware of this. Otherwise, you're going to go nuts like her too. Any one of us could become Candace Owens. Any one of us. Good, big fan. You're brave and Godspeed. I keep hearing about the 7K. Jays, I'm here. I'm here. Bonjour, Pearl, a fan from Canada. Great work. Why didn't I go after the Jays? It's just out of my depth. Do I believe Erica Kirk has been complicit in Charlie's death? No, because I'm not stupid. No offense. There are some conspiracies, guys, that I don't even have to hear out. And you'll notice this was really intelligent men. And I know I can kind of really intelligent men. They're going to hear something and be like, no, that's not true. And I think, I don't think she really liked Charlie. It wouldn't really surprise me if they had a divorce in the works. But no, do I think she was complicit? And maybe I'm missing something. You guys could, hey, Pearl, a little off topic. I want to be in a volleyball game against you. I want to serve you a Voight burger. Well, that may be possible in the future, but I'm probably going to take off of volleyball for a few months. Okay, so essentially, and I would like to say, I am going to paraphrase this a lot. If you can't talk about the Jays, why talk about anything? I mean, this is honestly why the Groypers get the reputation of being autistic. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because, imagine if I'm a sports channel, right? Imagine I'm a sports channel. I'm like, this is sports. And then they come in, they're like, the Jays own sports. It's their fault. And you're like, I'm talking about sports. I talk about women. Yeah, LinkedIn is full of women that are just like Candace. Go take a look at the massive narcissism displayed on that application as if their opinion matters more. Yes. Okay. Now, remind you, Candace Owens, her background is she actually sued her school for like a hate crime or something. Like, she comes from a lawsuit background. Now, look, I'm not judging. There's a lot of women that have done crazy things in the past. It's better than a gangbang on camera, right? But there's no such thing as a woman that's truly free speech. Then we would just be men. It does not exist. There's no such thing as woman. And what'll happen is women from a young age, we get told we're awesome and we get positions we don't deserve. She was sitting up there with Ben Shapiro, and all she was a black woman that says BLM bad, right? So it's the same thing with Brett Cooper. You see the egos get bigger. Even me at times. It's very difficult to not have a big ego when people are telling you you're awesome all the time. That's why it's important to find a boyfriend or a husband that tells you suck as a woman, because nobody else is going to tell you. Now, you're saying I'm trying to pull live viewers with her name. There's a reason she has 100K live viewers and you got 300. Well, I mean, I think I would have 100. Now this is and I'm going to do a caveat. You have to pay attention to who the audience is. Views does not necessarily mean talented, because if that were true, Trisha Paytas gets a lot of views. Alex Cooper gets, Call Her Daddy gets a lot of views. I don't think they're talented. What you have to pay attention to is a female or a male audience. And Candace Owens, it is not arguable. Like, she has a female audience. It's probably not all female. It's probably a good chunk male. But if I had to guess, I would say she has a 60% female audience. And when you look at who watches Candace Owens, it's a lot of women. It's a lot of homeschooled mothers, conservative mothers. Why am I stopping volleyball? I'm not stopping. It's very time consuming. So I got to take a few months off to get some other stuff done. I'll be back. I'll play. And that's the next criticism. Pearl's just rage baiting. I'm really not. If anything, I think these and my streams on Black people, traditional conservative women and Black people are really my most genuine streams, because there's nobody that you hate more than people that have wasted your time. And TradCons have wasted a lot of my time in my life. And so have Black people. So I'm not really enraged. Pearl doesn't have regular times. I know I'm a woman. I'm sorry. I could do better. If I was a man, I would be on time. Do you hear this? This is sugar-free candy. This is terrible. And my jaw pops when I do it. Pearl really fell off. That's true. I mean, that is true. I can't even blame you for that one. I used to get a bajillion, Now, okay, so Candace Owens for months has been calling for more answers from Turning Point. She's essentially accused, and I'm just listing, she's accused Turning Point founders and members of having some involvement in Charlie Kirk's death, whether directly or indirectly. Sometimes she does it as women do, where she half says it. Other times she's very direct about it. And the issue is, again, people have been telling her she's awesome for 20 years. So she is actually going to think she's better than the FBI and law enforcement. Now, I do understand that there are times where law enforcement gets corrupted, etc. But you have to think of the type of ego you have to think that you are better at investigating than law enforcement. I've offended Blacks, Muslims, Groypers, Indians, and women, just not the Jays. Did you not see my song I wrote about them? What do you think about bringing the pregame show, but it's mostly men in the room? Yeah, nobody will watch. And I know they're saying, she has contracts and receipts, and she does have receipts for parts of it, right? She has receipts for small parts, but overall, she has not produced substantial evidence that can really put a gun to anybody's head and say that they were involved in the murder. I know there's a lot of cope. There is a lot of cope in people saying that she's produced receipts, but this has blackpilled me so hard. This has blackpilled me. Because I didn't realize, I knew conservatives were simps, but I didn't realize they were this bad. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, so the last few months, she's essentially been accusing somebody in France about being a dude. And she has a whole conspiratorial thing about Charlie Kirk's death, that his friends were involved. She's literally saying that someone came into a dream and told her. A mentor in the military once told me in our class, when we were doing an investigation, women are the worst investigators because they see ghosts and they see things that aren't there and are not evident. Yeah. And this is kind of what's happening. Now, I don't mean this to be mean, but as a woman, it's really good to know what your weaknesses are. That's why I love the red pill, because when you're self-aware, you don't want to embarrass yourself like this. I don't see this ending in any other way but her embarrassing herself. The same way she did with Steven Crowder. I mean, that was completely embarrassing for her. She accused Crowder's wife of abuse Crowder of abuse because she doesn't understand female nature and that women are liars. And in my opinion, you can't have a good investigative journalist that doesn't understand the difference in the sexes when it comes to this stuff. Men and women are just different. We have different capabilities. Women are much more conspiratorial. Men care about facts, data, and statistics. It is just not the same. It's not. Now, a lot of people are saying that I'm naive. A lot of people say, Pearl, you're naive to this. You don't know what people are capable of. And I think if a man was leading the charge, I do think that maybe I would be right, but that you could be right. But a woman's leading this charge. Damn, girl, you're coming at blacks. No, and I'm going to be honest with you. Black people came for me first. I had no racism, sexism, homophobia. I really had no beef with the blacks until they came for me. And you guys did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Oh my God, they drew the first blood. These are sour. I've been going sugar-free, and I've had the worst craving for sugar. Okay, so we're going to react to Candace Owens' latest episode. Now, to give you some caveat, she's been calling for months and saying, I want answers. And what you're going to see is as soon as Turning Point says, fine, let's do it, then, Candace kind of does what women do and say, well, not like that. And it's because, women like her, they don't like masculinity. So they naturally, and they tend to have big egos. So what'll happen is they think they're more important than they are. And everything has to be their way or the highway. And you really see this lack of femininity in women. Because what is submission? We kind of play a lot with that word. Like what is submission? Submission, it's not cooking, it's not cleaning, because you might do that because you want to. You can see how submissive a woman is when somebody tells her no. That's how you see it. I mean, I have a hard time taking no for an answer. I mean, I'm not even saying I'm better, but so a lot of times what'll happen is a lot of these women, they're very, and women, you're going to waste a lot of time following women like her and thinking they're like somehow different or special because they have Jesus crosses. You can't be fooled. How does she react when men tell her to do things? That's how you see.
All right, you guys, happy Thursday. Fun little update for you. When the clock struck midnight last night and Cinderella's carriage turned back into a pumpkin, Turning Point USA decided it was a good time to issue a confirmation plus an ultimatum, a time and a date for our debate. I should tell you that they did not send me an email. They did not send me a text message. They did not.
Okay, so now this is female nagging, right? And by the way, women that do this, I grew up with women like this. They do this everywhere. Now, essentially, what she's going to communicate, she's going to say, you are not communicating with me in the way that I wish to communicate. Yeah, it's submission, relinquishing control. She says, I want to be in control. I can communicate with me the way I want to do it.
Coordinate anything with me. They simply made this midnight announcement and gave it a countdown. Got 24 hours to respond. So we're going to discuss that. And let me just tell you, Turning Point is so done after this. You just cannot survive being disingenuous. We also are going to get back into the Egyptian plains today. They are also working very hard to try to convince us that that was nothing. That's just what Egyptian military planes do. Fly around the skies in the middle of Provo when Charlie Kirk is being assassinated. Well, it turns out maybe these planes might be the key to everything, not nothing. Welcome back to Candace. I feel like I have to ask this question on behalf of the entire world. What the hell is going on at Turning Point USA? What's going on? I want to know what is happening over there in Arizona. Who is in charge exactly? Who is making the decisions?
So this is kind of entitlement. I'm entitled to know.
Who is calling the shots?
Because I'm a woman with a microphone.
On all of these terrible and extremely obvious PR moves. I think we all deserve to at least know what's going on. It feels like this company is going to turn into Enron, right?
Yeah, you're paying to nag me. That's fine. I think when it comes to this topic, you are not well versed to even contend it. Trying to explain what Candace is dealing with is useless. The simps, they just never end. That's why everyone's complicit in feminism, because they'll always, you even get more eyes just by being a woman.
Amazing. And then just plummet overnight. I have just the lack of transparency and also, ironically, the transparency of the things that they are doing. You can't make this up. They are just so obvious, so obviously trying to hide something. Before we get into their frankly bizarre late night tweet and ultimatum, I wanted to update you guys and let you know that Cam Higbee, remember that weird propaganda?
And I want you guys to pay attention when there's ads, if they're to women or men. If it's mostly to women, you got to find a different podcast because it's not going to be fact-based. It's going to be emotion-based.
This reporter who goes to the Pentagon press secretary and is like, don't laugh. Okay, right? Don't laugh. And then proceeds to ask if they heard about France's assassination attempt on my life, which I also said that France was on the ground the day that Charlie was assassinated. Yeah, this Cam Higbee, take a listen.
As well.
Yeah. So this is my first question, and don't laugh. Does the DOW have any evidence at all of a French military plot to assassinate Candace Owens?
That is an interesting question. Not that I'm aware of, but, interesting question. I can try to find out and maybe let you know. I think that might be more of a law enforcement matter, though.
So I brought that up because it was just so propagandist, so in our faces. I obviously did not think that this was going to lead back to Turning Point USA, but little did I know that we can add Cam Higbee onto our list of brand new. Everyone was just so brand new on that day. Everyone was so brand new leading up to Charlie's assassination. Well, Cam Higbee is on the payroll of Turning Point USA beginning in August of this year. So in theory, Cam Higbee, who was laughing off the idea of an assassination attempt, is...
And guys, I understand Charlie Kirk died, but you have to understand Charlie Kirk was reckless. I mean, he did an event, like the way he did his Turning Point events, he announced where he was ahead of time. people are not trying to kill you all the time. I mean, and it kind of also shows why women aren't really like meant for these roles, right? I don't think any woman should be in a role where they're trying to kill you all the time.
Being paid by the very organization that just had its leader assassinated in broad daylight in front of the entire world. I find that to be interesting. Who directed him to ask that question? I'm just asking questions. But first, after my episode yesterday, I expected, call me crazy, I expected that Turning Point would reach out to me via text, via email, that they would instantly follow up with their long diatribe and be sincere and say, okay, here are some dates and some times. When would you like to make this happen? We're going to set up this great debate. Rather.
Okay, so now you have to understand how unsubmissive this is. Look, I'm a YouTuber. I could tell you what it takes to do this stuff. If I had something that was this pivotal to my brain, like if this was something I was covering for weeks, I could get pretty much anywhere on the planet that's not, I mean, like if it was Saudi Arabia or something, I would have to do a lot of research for. But I'll use England. If I had to go back to England, which is a 10 to 12 hour flight, I could do it in 24 hours. And so when I first heard Candace like criticizing that they like tweeted, like they gave her, I thought they gave her 24 hours to get there. I thought that's why she was mad. And then I found out, I'm like, she has a week and a half to get there. What? Do you know what I mean? I was like, I think I could get pretty much anywhere in a day in the United States, bearing maybe like Hawaii. So she's saying they didn't communicate with me in the way that I wanted them to communicate and I deem as acceptable. Okay.
Hearing anything from Turning Point, I heard from Skylar, my executive producer, this morning via text, which I'm going to show you, that I was
like, I just, do these influencers not see how out of touch they are? Oh no, I talk for a living, and they tweeted at me a debate time.
Somehow already 9 hours into a 24-hour countdown that was issued by Turning Point USA. Here is that text exchange with Skylar this morning. He 8:49 said, "I'm sure you saw this," and I responded to him and I said, "No. Actually, I didn't see this." And
the other thing she's not taking into account, Candace is kind of known for releasing like texts and bullshit. So it's like, what is the point? What is the point of communicating with her privately if she's like dropping all these texts? You know, like what is the point?
Pinned the tweet, which went out from Blake Neff around midnight last night. And here's what he wrote. I'm like, how am I supposed to see this? The live stream we announced on the show Wednesday has been set. That would imply to the audiences that they reached out to me and we set a time. No, he goes on at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. local.
I just switched it to members only. I'm not your enemy, Pearl. I'm saying that the way you found the red pill, you'll eventually find yourself asking these questions one day. I don't think so. I think I'm more, Candace's husband is doing the right thing. He barely interacts with his wife.
Time on Monday, December 15th, a collection of Charlie's friends will respond to statements made by Candace Owens to set the record straight once and for all prior to the opening of
Oh wait, hold on. What did I do?
America Fest. Now, if it's going to be once and for all, it sounds pretty final. I mean, I would assume that I would have to contribute so that I could answer back, right?
I mean, do you see how hard this is to work with? Do you know how many people I gave opportunities to because they were just easy? Like everyone would always ask me when I was in England, if anyone remembers Denelva, everyone always asked me, why do you keep having Denelva on? She's so unbearable. Because Denelva was easy to work with. I would say, hey, could you come tonight? 10-minute notice. Oh yeah, I'll be right over. And this is just, it's so out of touch that you have a week and a half and your supporters pay you millions of dollars and you cannot, it's unacceptable in my opinion. You owe that to your audience. You owe that to them. Figure out a way to get there.
He goes on to write, we'll be live streaming, as he said from the beginning. This is going to be a live streamed event from Charlie's Phoenix studio. Our offer from yesterday holds. If Candace wishes to join us in person in Phoenix, she is welcome to do so. She can let us know by the end of today. Why? Well, I'm sorry.
Okay, now the reason, and I could tell you this as a YouTuber, I think you're not going to really understand things. Like, because a general person might say, well, why can't they just do virtual? The issue with virtual is you don't know who's in your ear talking. It also, saying something through a screen is different than saying it to their face, it's different to like go and stare down the people that you've been calling murderers for weeks than, to say it behind a screen. You're not, like for me, I could see why people wouldn't go on. I might mute you if you're out of bounds. You suck, but keep doing you. Look, I got to grift a little bit more here. I don't grift enough.
If you're saying this is happening on the 15th, why am I getting 24 hours to be able to respond to you? That doesn't make any sense. That for some reason feels like this is a BS offer and a really cheap PR move. There's no reason to issue a 24-hour response.
Now, it's just kind of rich that she's saying this is a PR move when she's been covering this for 2 weeks. Like, if anything, she's kind of harassed Turning Point. Like, she's kind of been harassing them and accusing them all of being involved in Charlie Kirk's death for weeks. Now, magically, like, this is a publicity stunt. Like, you're the one making money off of this.
Response and to put this up in the middle of the night. A. B, there's no reason you didn't reach out to me and say, hey, does this work? Can I check some flights, see if I can get in there? Nope. This is it. They put this up there on the 15th. The last week of our show is live. Obviously, leading up to Christmas, that's the last week of our show. Obviously, it's a pretty busy week. So I mean,
that's just the most bullshit excuse. Candace, you owe your audience better. That's bullshit. These people have been paying you basically to investigate. There is nothing more important than doing this. Now, a lot of people will come back and say, but Pearl, her family, it's her husband's birthday. And I'm like, you guys are the biggest simps. She's in a man's world. I don't come in here and expect anything less than to be treated the way the men are treated. You don't get special treatment just because, like, you have chosen to prioritize your career over your family. That's fine. But do your job. Like, imagine an average, like, working person. And it's like how out of touch these influencers are. I can't make, like, if your boss says jump, you say how high. Like, how do you guys get to tell your boss when you're working? No. This is your audience. This is your boss.
Like, okay, caught off guard by this, but you know what? I sense this is a PR move. So let me say, you've already said it's live streamed. If an event is live streamed, of course, we can make it work any place. I mean, at any time, any day, we can make this happen, right? Because
it's not about it. She wants to be in control. That's what it is. It's because she wants it live because she's angry. She's not in control. And you'll notice this. You'll notice this with women. They're not conservative if they're trying to control their reputation, what people can and can't say. If they're trying to control, like, every little thing, they're not feminine. Not saying I am, but they're not what they say they are, right?
You're live streaming it. There's no reason I can't show up electronically. Okay. I respond to him and I say this, kind of weird how you didn't email or call me to ask about times or availability and instead chose to tweet this confirmation out at midnight. Why am I learning about this on X? December 15th does not work in person. And 2 p.m. happens to also be the literal time that I do my podcast live every day, which you knew. But we will happily cancel the daily podcast and we'll join you guys virtually instead for the.
Sorry, I was eating a sugar-free candy. They suck. No excuse, Candace. None. You can record content ahead of time. Do a bunch of Candace Owens reacting to black fatigue. Your audience will love that. In the next 2 days you're gone. Schedule. I have gotten like 20 reactions done in a day. No excuses.
Live stream on the 15th. If that works on your end, let's lock it in, ? Okay. We're jumping here. Let's just make it happen. Okay. That's the beauty of the internet. That is the beauty of 2025. You can literally be
conservative women. Here they need to submit to her since she is the bigger platform. conservative women understand that there is an innate difference between being a man and being a woman. And you do have to submit even to men. I'm a big degenerate. So I'm not even saying that I adhere to this or I do this, but I'm saying if that's your worldview, you have to offer baseline respect to all men just because they're men. And doesn't that suck? Submission is all fun and games until you got to do that. You know what I mean?
Any place, anytime. Just send me a link, right? Any place, anytime, and we can join you virtually. In fact, today on their show, they had Andrew Colbert joining them virtually. So they have the tech capability to do this. We have tech capability to do this. Let's make this sincere.
I want control. I want to do it my way. Yeah.
And do this for people around the world who do not feel that you guys have been honest.
No, go in person, put your money where your mouth is. You have made probably millions of dollars off of this. Go in person. Go.
And forthcoming in terms of answers that you could obviously supply regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. Well, if we needed any more evidence that nothing that they do is genuine and that this was an obvious planned PR move, here is what Blake tweeted out just now before we went live on the show. Yesterday, we made it clear that we would be scheduling a formal response.
You seem well versed, but this is a boring story. That's how I know that a story doesn't have facts, when men kind of start tuning it out, especially white guys. I have like 5 highly intelligent white guys I'll ask about stories in the news. And if they haven't been paying attention to it, actually, and one black guy. Some black men do make the cut. But anyways, I always can tell how female centric a story is based on how they answer
to allegations and accusations that you have made. We have decided that that response will be delivered during a live stream, as he said, a live stream on December 15th. Thank you for your response, letting us know that you will not be joining the in-person conversation. We will be proceeding without you. Why are you proceeding without me? To have a conversation that is about me. Why am I getting 24 hours to respond? Why do you need me there in person if you are trying?
Okay. To the simps in the chat, you guys got to get on her about this. She needs to go in person. There's no excuse. I don't care if it's her husband's birthday. I don't care if it's close to Christmas. Middle-class America does not get to clock out whenever they feel like not working. This is your job. Go in person, sweetheart. You're in a man's world. Go in person.
To be sincere and answer the very many questions that I have brought up on this show. You guys weren't even sincere in what you said yesterday. You told some glaring lies about things that I have said. So we're supposed to trust that you guys are going to handle this discussion all by yourselves and respond to any and every allegation. And this isn't just some planned PR for once and for all. Like I said, this is so obvious. He is being completely destroyed in the comments because what's happening at Turning Point, and I've seen this happen before, is they now believe that.
Now, a lot of times women, because it's not about facts to us, it's usually, a lot of times we go to group consensus. So we always want to know, like, if everybody believes it, we often think it makes it more credible. And she does this a lot. She's always saying, well, everybody thinks this. And like, if I ask my dad that, he'll say, so I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, his response is, I don't care. A lot of people believe crazy things, you know?
They are smarter than their audience, right? They think they are smarter than their small pocket donors. They can pull such an obviously crappy public move like this and pretend, well, we tried. You know, she said she could make it work and we tried, but it has to be physically, she needs to be in person, even though we have shown that we have people join us.
Yeah, Candace, but it's a little bit different when you're accusing everybody of murder. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a little bit different. Sorry. That's a little bit. Also, Jason Whitlock's supposed to join us today. I just saw him on Twitter talking about this. I think he's going to come on soon. So I'm going to give you guys a preface. And I was just kind of curious what his take was on this whole thing, because I think he knows people like in the industry, and maybe they're friends. So I'm not trying to make him like, but I was just kind of curious. He said, TPUSA objectivity is very different when you're having a strong rooting interest. TPUSA AmFest is a brand builder and a terrible social event, or terrific social event for conservatives I've attended. TPUSA controls a lot of money. Candace provides nothing for conservative influencers. Remember this when reading the comments. I wish TPUSA had stated we will respond to Candace on December 15th. We will have invited her to witness our response in person. Leave it at that. Yeah, we'll see what he says. I don't really know what he means by that, but I think he's coming, or maybe I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to react. We're going to have fun. Yeah, so.
Not in person, and it's live streamed, and we both have the tech abilities to do that. If she doesn't make this work within 24 hours, we can now say that.
Zero excuses. Everybody else has got to go to work. Everybody else. I just couldn't believe she was getting a week. I'm like, you have a week to get there? I thought this was 24 hours. In all honesty, guys, I had a doctor's appointment in Chicago, and it was going to take me like months to get in and where I live now. And I flew back literally for a day, and I was like, yeah.
It's on Candace. This is a disaster, okay? It is a dumpster fire. That's the only way to describe what is happening at Turning Point USA today and right now is a dumpster fire. Everyone can read this for what it is. As I said, they are getting destroyed in the comments. Like, really, guys? Really? You're not going to just send us a simple live stream link and let us join you? We've had people on this.
Again, sweetie, get to work. Like, get to work. Get that. Like, I just can't. I can't. Influencer women, you guys, they want such special treatment when we already have special treatment. It's time to get to work.
Show live streamed. We could have them tomorrow. I said, in response, I said to them, I'll make this work. I also attached to that tweet any day leading up to the 15th. We can do this virtually any place and any time. But no, they need to have it in person in Phoenix on December 15th, or they cannot have me at all. Is that passing the vibe check for you guys?
All right, thank you.
Or does it seem like more?
It passes the vibe check to me. Time, place, giving you over a week. I think that's plenty. There's nothing new under the sun. Thank you for the new members. Gabe, I know you. Thank you. Losers, Pew Pew, Clue Studio. Thank you guys. I really appreciate the memberships. Maybe there's something I'm missing. If I'm missing something, you guys could tell me. But what I don't want, and I don't want the nagging, why are you going after that's just nagging to me. You're going down a dark path, Pearl. And I'm like, and I'll keep going. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay. But if you have a valid, like, something I'm missing, hey, I could miss stuff. I am a woman,
Posturing and more of a way.
Oh, let's see. I invited Shamika too. Is she coming? Is this? All right. Let's see. I'll see if you want to come. I'll send a link. Hey, we're out here.
For them to simply be in the room with themselves as they all lie without any person in the room to be able to fact check those lies, who have researched those lies and who have kept a list regarding the very many lies they are telling. Okay. I maintain that Turning Point is engaged in a cover-up. That is how I feel. Okay. And like I said, it pains me to say that because this was once a bright spot in the conservative movement. It is no longer. They are using left-wing tactics, calling us names rather than answering us questions. It's everything Charlie stood against, okay? You don't need to call somebody a racist because they're asking questions about what happened with George Floyd leading up to his death, okay? That is a way that you skip over having to debate logically, is you name call. All Blake Neff did was name call yesterday. all the pastors have been doing. It's demonic, it's possessed, it's evil. How about you simply answer the questions and stop?
Yeah, and this kind of reminds me of how women will like they'll be like, be honest with me, and then the men are honest and they're like, not like that. Like she's like, answer the questions. They're like, fine, 15th in studio. And a lot of people are coming back at me and they're saying, Pearl, like kind of insinuating she's gonna die. I'm like, guys, come on. Again, I think that would be a little too obvious. I'm just not really thinking. I think that's kind of out of
behaving.
Oh, Shamika said she'd come. If you guys like Shamika, I'm going to send her the link right now. Give me a second. I don't know if Jason's still coming. Maybe I sent him the time wrong or something. Either. If he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's just, I just kind of want to see people's thoughts on this, because I could be missing something. I'm not saying, but to me, this just appears like, being a woman. Like, it's just this, to me, this is womaning.
Like you're a radical leftist. Everyone can see what you're doing. And that's what I want you guys to know. It's very clear, okay? I'm not asking people to defend me. You are just genuinely this transparent. So I am sorry that I cannot arrive in person because it's our last week on air.
There is zero excuse. That is the dumbest. I mean, I would have preferred you to use your kids as a get out of jail free card. I would have preferred the child. I would have preferred that. Maybe it's my husband's birthday. I mean that but you can pre-record a show. I just filmed like 2 months worth of reaction videos in like 10 days. No excuse.
Before the holidays, I am still very happy, and I will say it again, to make that date and time and place, because I'm here and we have the technological capabilities to make it so, make it work. We can move it around and we can do it even at midnight. I will stay awake and I will make that work for you at midnight.
Bruh. Then hop on a plane at midnight. Like what? I can't believe she has a week to get there and she can't get, like, that was just, all right. I'm going to change the chat to subscribers for a little bit to let you guys give your input. You don't have to get, you don't have to get the membership for now. I might turn it up back on later, but if you are, subscribed, you have to be subscribed for 5 minutes, then you can get up
anytime. Just send me a link. In the meantime, we are just going to start investigating harder because you're not acting right. Okay, you guys are not acting right, and you are not going to be able to get yourselves out of it by trying to be tricky like that. And like I said, the fact that you mentioned the Egyptian planes so many times yesterday without providing a valid answer.
All right, so I'm going to go on. Nick. All right, let's see actually, I'm going to keep playing this while I pull up one more clip.
Or reason as to why we should just ignore military planes that are circulating that don't belong to our country. We're going to stay focused on that. And guess what? We have some more explosive revelations, which lead to more questions, which should be answered. And by the way, Turning Point, you should be concerned about. How odd, guys, that they don't even, they're not concerned about the Egyptian planes. They don't even.
The Egyptian planes, that's just not.
If she's so afraid for her life, why was she at Tucker Carlson's Christmas party in Nashville last night? Why was she at Dollywood on Thanksgiving, the theme park? So, allegedly, the French government and the Israeli intelligence have put a hit out on you. They've paid millions of dollars to kill you, but you're walking around a theme park in your town. You're walking around, for those that don't know, Dollywood, Dollyland. It's like Dolly Parton's Disney World. You're walking around Disney World? You're walking around an amusement park in your hometown on the holiday weekend when allegedly everyone's trying to kill you? Then you go to a Christmas party with Tucker Carlson in the same city attended by hundreds of people, and people know you're going to be there with Tucker and all the base people in one room. But you can't go to Turning Point where everybody knows you're going to be. And if anything happened to you, God forbid, they would immediately blame Turning Point. It doesn't even make any sense. So she says, I'm going to live stream the live stream and I'm going to fact check it in real time. Why? I think we all know why. She's totally full of shit. She doesn't care about the truth. If she did, she would go, no matter the cost. If she were really courageous and a truth teller, she would bootstrap.
And again, this is why women can't really be in male spaces, because we're not men, right? And as much as we cosplay, women don't have the courage of men. We don't. It doesn't exist. I don't care how much, women pretend. That's true. I don't belong here. I don't, but I look at myself as the solution to feminism, because it's kind of like female politicians eating each other. The solution to feminism is giving women the freedom they ask for and seeing how hard it is. So I'm here to make it hard, bitches. I'm here to make it difficult. Somebody's got to do it because the men can't. So yeah, I'll be here,
And she would say, wish me luck. She would kiss her husband when she walks out the door and say, it might not be coming back. And she would go and just fully send it and do it.
Look, I mean, I understand the Candace bots are here, but it doesn't really matter to me, because to me, it's like, I'm going to be insulted by someone that thinks Egyptian planes are out to get some YouTuber. Really? Someone that bought that some girl pretended to be a guy for 50 years. Really? I'm not going to lose any sleep. I'm really not. It's mostly either feminine men and women. And you could tell because if you watch your show, all the ads are targeted towards women. That's when you know show's kind of shit. Like Nick, I respect him because he's like, women, we don't want you here. And I understand,
Because if this is really, as she says, of cosmic, spiritual, geopolitical significance, you have to. And it's being offered up on a silver platter. You just have to. After talking all this shit, driving everybody against each other for the past 3 months, you got to do it. So clearly, she doesn't believe what she's saying as far as the significance of all of this. Secondly, I don't think she believes what she's saying about Turning Point. Why does she not want to go in person? Because if she goes in person,
why couldn't why couldn't they do it online? Because now they have to cater to a crazy woman's demands. Women are crazy. All women are crazy. That's why it's really important that men dictate the terms, because women are nuts. I mean, first she's going to be asking, oh, it's got to be virtual. Then it's going to be, oh, let me change it's going to be this, that. Bitch, at the 15th in person, get here. You have a week. That's plenty of time. You have a bajillion dollars. Give them to the nannies. Look, I know a nanny mom when I see one, because I grew up with nannies. There's no way that she's doing this show 5 days a week and a full-time mother. It does not exist. There's no way. I grew up with nannies. I can tell you, there's help, there's no way. And that's the other thing. They think there's ulterior motive. And I'll tell you the motive. A lot of people say, you're jealous. You wish you had the number one show, et cetera, et cetera. And in all honesty, guys, I actually don't miss that level of fame. I really had that level of, maybe not her level, but I had a higher level of fame at some point, and I did not enjoy it. I really like it here. I enjoy it. Please don't put me back up there again, because that is too much scrutiny for me. I'm not meant for it. But we're going back to, they think there's this ulterior motive. And really, it's just, I have a deep, long, hatred for women like this. I grew up around women like that. And I've just seen these tactics over and over again. And I hate it. They drive me nuts. So, maybe that's my ulterior motive. They hurt me. It's like, who hurt you? Women hurt me. Women did. So yeah, I mean, so did black people. You guys, not all of you, because I do like black people. I think they're cool and they're chill and I like hanging out, but then they bring black problems and I like them less. You don't belong here. You don't suck. Candace Owens is shit. I don't even think she's shit. I just think she thinks she's a man and she thinks I just think she doesn't really know that she's not as awesome as she thinks. I think right now she thinks she's better than the FBI and you're just not that, Yeah, Candace is not a hands-on mom. I grew up with someone who took credit for nanny work. A nanny, it was an au pair. But yeah.
She might get caught on the back foot. She might find out that her
I accidentally booted myself, guys. It's like what a lack of professional women, right? Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna finish this clip and then we're gonna bring Shamika up. I don't know where Jason is, so Shamika's coming.
Facts are wrong, and she might not be able to explain herself. If she's at home, she's not under pressure. What's more, she's got her producer in her ear, like she did when I was on her show, like she does on all her shows.
Yeah, and that helps a lot. I'm sorry, it helps a lot. Having someone in your ear, yeah. And women, the thing is, we tend to seek group consensus, so even just having someone nodding, it just makes us better.
Producer's name, Skylar. She's going to have Skylar in her ear, so when she mispronounces something or she gets something wrong, she's going to say, Skylar, what was that? And Skylar can be on AI, Skylar can be on Twitter, and he can help her out. She can have air support. That's what this is about. And so she knows, first of all, it's obviously she does not mean what she says. It is not that important to her. And she does not have the courage of her convictions. She knows she's going to melt at turning point. She needs backup. So then she's going to engage in yet another lie. And then she's going to gaslight the world and say, oh, I'm not a coward. It's not that I don't have the courage of my convictions. It's they are being weird. They're being weird. I'm not backing.
Yeah, and women tend to throw insults like that because they care a lot more about popularity than men do. Men don't care as much about what's popular. So you'll notice like that's more of like a female insult than a male. Because men care about facts, like the facts and what's correct, where women they tend to care more about like social cohesion.
Down. They said, we're going to do a stream. You said, name the time and place. They did. Now you're saying you can't go in person, but you can live stream it. And we all know why that is. But then she'll turn around and say, oh, I'm not a coward. They're just being weird. They announced it at midnight, so that's why I can't go. You can't go because they announced it at midnight? You can't go because you're seeing this on Twitter and not in your inbox? I mean, what are you even talking about? And so this is where it's like, if you're still on this train, I honestly have no respect for you. If you're still on board after this, I don't know how anybody can buy in. And like I said, I'm not saying this for rhetorical effect. I would actually love to see her talk to Turning Point because there's not a losing scenario there. If she goes to Turning Point, we're either going to find out that she was right all along. She's going to bring the receipts. She's going to name the names. She's going to put the screws in these people, and she is going to blow the lid on everything. And you know what? If she's right, we want to know. If she's right, I want to know that, and I want to see it. I want to see it proved. And if she's right, I will issue a public apology on video and writing. I will say, you know what? I doubted you. I didn't get it. You were right all along, blah, blah. Honest to God. And if she's wrong, then we'll know that too. We'll know that whatever the errors she made are, we will know what they are, And maybe it'll bring us closer to a bigger truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk, whether it was Tyler Robinson or some other thing went on, or maybe Turning Point wasn't in on it. We'll know more. And I think everybody wants to see it. We want to see, she's been building the energy for 3 months. This is supposed to be the climactic, like jury trial, courtroom drama moment. And she goes, I can't go. Well, you know what? I can't take you seriously then.
Okay. All right. So we're going to bring up Shamika. I've seen a few tweets. I'm not sure whose side she's on, so it'll be kind of interesting. I am going to put the chat on members only. And the reason is some of you guys just have dumb things to say. Some of you guys, and if you're going to say them, some of you, these comments, I'm like, I just don't. I need you to like enlighten me, give me what I'm missing, give me something. And it's just nagging me. Pearl, why are you covering this? Pearl, and I'm like, if I'm gonna have to listen to nags, I want you to pay. I do. You are gonna pay. So therefore, if I'm missing something, let me know. Maybe there's a point of view I didn't see, but now because of the nags in the chat, you're gonna have to pay to do it. I'm sorry. I am sorry. This is what it is. Welcome to the show. We got Shamika.
Hi, Pearl.
Welcome back. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. Look, I was sitting in my onesie trying to rearrange my jewelry box. And I said, let me take a little break. Let me see what's going on X. And then I saw your messages and I said, oh my God, I missed these. So my apologies, but I threw myself together so I could.
No, guys, she had like a 5-minute notice. So like to come on here. I just randomly was like, I don't know where Jason is. So I'll bring up so what's your thought on the story? I don't know. Did you see my take or did you not hear it?
I didn't. So actually, once I saw your messages, I just tried, getting out of my onesie.
Okay. No, that's cool. So I think she's ducking this debate because I just don't think there's an excuse. She's got a week to get there. I think that's plenty of time, especially when you're worth $1 bajillion. If it was me and I wanted to go somewhere, I could get there in 24 hours anywhere in the United States. No excuses. That's my take. But if you have a different one, feel free. Go ahead.
Yeah, only because she has small children. I know she has a lot of money. I'm sure she has nannies. But from my understanding, it's also her husband's birthday. So that day, I'm used to people saying, and I say all the time, oh, just let me know whenever. And I don't really mean let me know whenever. I mean, let's try to coordinate a schedule. So I can kind of understand why she said, name the place, name the time, and then said, oh, wait a minute, because I would have been thinking, let's discuss this. And I'm willing to do it. I don't think that she has to really duck the debate because I don't see, unless she's lying. Now, if she's lying, yes, she would duck the debate. But as far as her ability to debate them, I think she can hold her own. So I would love to see her do it. And actually, I would love to see it be virtual or in person. And regardless, whether she shows up or not, I'm going to watch their live stream on the 15th because I do want to see what they have to say to the allegations.
So, okay. My thing is, I think that if you ask to be in a man's world, you have to be in it. And politics is a man's world, and men don't get to say, well, it's my wife's birthday, I can't come to work. And that's kind of how I see it. You don't get both. If you want to be in a man's world, then be in it and behave like the men. The men aren't going to skip work to go to their wife's birthday. Even, that's kind of how I think. Go ahead.
I don't know. I would expect them to skip work. It's my birthday. It's the only holiday of the year.
Well, like for a normal person with a normal job, like influencers are a protected class, right?
Right.
And so it's like, I just think it's kind of like you've made money off of this for 3 months.
True.
This is your job, sweetie. But average Americans don't get to go to their boss and say, I'm busy. They have to go to work,
Yeah, they do. I do want to have them meet up. That's my preference. I really don't want a turning point saying something because it doesn't end there. it'll just be another avenue for her to continue on. I really want them to have the conversation again in person or virtually. I don't care. Like we're talking right now virtually. I could pretend that I had some tech issues and skip off, but typically
Yeah.
that doesn't happen. So I think either way, I just want the conversation to happen together because otherwise it's going to continue on and on and
Yeah,
on
it'll
and
never
on.
end. Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you think? What do you think is the most compelling evidence behind what Candace is saying? Like are you like, what's your take on it?
So my take on it is that I just don't trust the government, really. I'm not like anti TPUSA. I'm anti the government because we've just seen them lie so many times that I would love for someone to prove that they're actually covering something up. Like I think that when JFK was killed, it was a cover up. MLK was a cover up. I keep saying, Tupac and Biggie, there was a cover up. So I'm just that type of person that if there's a cover up, I want to get to the bottom of it. And I am one of these people that if there's a rabbit hole, call me Alice, I'm jumping down it.
But what's
So
is there a piece of evidence that you think is really compelling?
I want to know about the Egyptian planes.
Oh no, my God.
I do. Listen, Pearl, I want to know.
Oh my God.
I want to know what's going on.
I'm just
Honestly.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sometimes I mute guests when they get out.
Honestly, Pearl, because I've actually had some people that don't have public platforms. Like there's this Marine that I know very well, and I trust his judgment. He's like, that wasn't an actual shot. That's number one. From where they're saying Tyler Robinson was, he's like, that's not the case. And then I'm hearing from other people that the marriage wasn't what we think it is. Again, Pearl, I have a ratchet little girl living on the inside of me that is like, let me see this drama.
The marriage definitely wasn't what we thought it was. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Erica got banged out in New York City. Do you know what I mean? It stuck come on.
I didn't know that.
No
I
hot
told
girl,
you.
no girl that competes in beauty pageant hasn't banged a celebrity. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is no way she wasn't banging Chads in New York City. She's too hot. She was too hot when she was young.
She is cute.
I'm not judging her. I'm just saying, I'm just being real here. Like,
yeah,
let's be honest. 18 to 28, what were you doing? Like, you were with one guy. Yeah, shut up. Like, you can fool these simps. You're not gonna fool me. It's all right.
I settled down at 21. So 18, 19, 20, you might have me. 21 though, take me out the market.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I just think if you got a decade, like, what were you doing for the decade?
Right.
I better see a ring, or something, some 10-year anything,
Yeah, I didn't know anything about her though, honestly, until Charlie died. I think I told you when I was there, I feel so out of the loop on a lot of things because I just don't know what's going on. And so I didn't follow Charlie. I wasn't very aware of who his wife was or exactly how many children he had. I'm just coming into all of this since September 10th.
Yeah. So what you think that it's possible that the wife got him assassinated? Is that what you're implying? I don't know if that is. Correct me if I'm misspeaking.
I don't know if I would say she got him assassinated, but I will go as far as to say her behavior after everything just seemed really strange to me. Knowing a lot of people who have lost husbands, wives, children's parents in murder, some type of horrible way. She just didn't seem quite grieved enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think she just didn't it's just a tale as old as time. The older woman who's gotten banged out and the young Christian guy. I mean, you've seen it. Come on. You're in conservative media. That's like half the husbands. Yeah, she's laughing. I mean, it's like they bang all the guys in conservative media. Then there's some young guy that doesn't know, and he's like, "Oh, she's perfect." Come on, like.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I was watching the Diddy documentary that just came out on
Oh
Netflix.
no, Cassie.
And yeah, well, they were saying that Diddy would come out to LA and didn't know what girls he should not be, going all out on. So it does happen for sure. And I was talking to Jason today earlier on Harmony, and we were just saying how a lot of these conservative conventions, Amerifest or CPAC, it's just like this whole conservative or Christian Vegas. What happens at these conferences, they claim stay at the conferences. The problem is they don't stay. So I know a lot of information as far as people who hooked up behind the scenes. A lot of this stuff is not on the up and up as far as the Christian part. We're just holy, we're conservative, we're traditional. Sometimes these conferences turn into freak nasty from what I'm
but
hearing.
that's why, look, if a girl's over a certain age, that's why I keep saying she got banged out, because somebody was fucking her. Like somebody. Come on, like over a certain age, you've done something. You can't be traditional as a woman. Like you can't. It's. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying I'm traditional. I'm obviously not. But I'm saying, like, you can't, like, a lot of women especially claim that, and they just can't be based on their life choices.
Yeah, based on life choices, yes, and maybe want to be, because how old is she? You said she was 28.
I think she was like 31 or 32 when they got married. So I mean, odds are, like, a lot of people claim traditional, but what percent of the kids are made via IVF? Like, I know Crowder's kids were. It came out in the court document. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I know. But so they're making all this money off of, like, conservatism. And I like Crowder. It's not a dig at him, but I'm just, I'm being real here. That was in their divorce court documents. So it's like they claim this, but you can't be it if you're using IVF to get your kids.
Yeah, but you, Pearl, aren't you more traditional? You say that you aren't, but you hold some traditional values. Like, I know that you do believe in actually, or this is just what I think. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. You do believe in submitting to your man, being loving, being kind, being agreeable. I've seen you talk to the women and say, hey, you need to have sex with your husbands. So I do think that you hold some traditional values.
Yeah, but if I was actually traditional, I would have been married younger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not. So it doesn't matter what I say or what I think. It matters what I did.
Right. But when you get married, because you're going to get married soon, you're going to hold those traditional values.
I can.
And I'm coming to the wedding. So.
I mean, yeah, I'd like to, but, like, all you could say in the future, it's a prediction, right?
Yeah.
So I like to think that, but then I don't like getting a big ego. It's like I gotta stay humble and be like, we'll see.
But I'll have the ego for you, because I'm coming, and I know that it's gonna happen.
All right, you will be invited. You could be the flower girl.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I think you're kind of crazy for believing the Egyptian planes, but I do respect you and I respect your opinion. But I think you're wrong.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm waiting on the explanation. Let's talk after the 15th.
After the 50, I don't know if she's gonna go. I do think it makes a big difference if it's virtual. See, you don't have a team there. It's just you, right?
Right.
Yeah. When they have a team, you haven't been ambushed with someone with a microphone before, bruh.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, no, I've gone on debates where I think I'm talking to the person, and I was very naive when I got into this.
Mm-hmm.
And they have someone in their ear, like, typing, just trying to disprove every little thing that you say.
Right.
And it makes it a lot more difficult to have, like, a conversation. So I don't know. I think it's got to be in person, in my opinion. But
yeah, I didn't think about that. I've only done live debates. So
you haven't had anyone cheat yet. So
right.
You haven't, and I've had that happen a few times. So.
Yeah. So again, even without her, I do plan to hear their side because again, I'm not necessarily against Turning Point. It's just the government. I feel like they are hiding something. I don't know whether Turning Point had a part in it or what. I just feel like we don't always get the whole story from the government.
Well, I understand that. Maybe if it does happen, we can watch it together. We can do this again.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for coming, Shamika. I appreciate it.
Thank you for
Ask
having
Jason
me.
where he was.
We think maybe he took a nap or something. Yeah. It's
all
Friday.
Right. I'll forgive him. He can come on next time. So thanks for coming.
Thank you. See you later.
Yeah. All right, guys. We love Shamika here. She's a cool gal. That's what I can tell when a woman doesn't have ego. That's my biggest pet peeve in women. And who knows, it could come out later. I am not responsible for any women I co-sign and like. I am not responsible for what they do in the future. I don't know if great women crash out all the time. So if that ever happens, I just like to say, I don't think it will, but I am not responsible. I am not. Any crash outs, not my fault, not my problem. But going back to this, where was Jason today? But you could tell she doesn't have a big ego, right? Like even there, I muted her for a second, right? I disagreed. I just thought it was funny, so I muted her. Did you notice how she didn't crash out? Like that's, to me, that's more feminine than any like conservative woman that wears these crosses anywhere. Like, how do you react? That's why Bonnie Blue and a lot of these porn stars end up getting married, because they're like, they can give up control. They're like, bang me wherever, guys. Because do you know what I mean? It's like, did you see her? And this is hard for Black people in particular. They never go, and Shamika does, but it's so rare they go in good faith. Jason does too. But the good faith is so lacking. Like they have a tendency, and I think I'll react to my time on I know. That's what I said. I said she could get a white guy. I don't know if she is dating a white guy, but she could. She really could. Yeah, she has it in her. She doesn't. If I had to guess, I don't. She seems like she would stick with Black guys. I don't. My gut is she's not dating a white guy, but I'm saying she could. She's fit. Yeah. So. And she smiles. Do you see that? No huge ego. But yeah, okay. I think that's all I really got from Candace. Yeah, no, she's got real hair. Yeah, she could. Yeah, most Black girls. Most people. Usually what happens is most people go for their race, unless occasionally people will have like, not like, I don't want to say a fetish. I don't like that word, but a type, that's a little bit out. And so like, if she, like, it's kind of similar to Candace Owens. Candace Owens was a thin Black woman. And so since Black women kind of, they're really fat and they have herpes. So they've kind of diluted their market. So any Black woman that's thin and nice tends to get higher, like they can do better in the interracial dating market, right? It's kind of like white women that are a little fat can get a better looking Black guy because Black women are fat and they have herpes. Not like white women don't have herpes. We do too, but just it's not as high. Like it's not as prevalent. Yeah. Zubia says, I like tall white guys. Yeah, see, and I could see her collarbones. See that? No, and so she would do, if you actually look like your profile picture, you would do okay in that market because I would not say it's the majority of white guys that go for Black girls. I don't think that's kind of the majority, But there are ones that do that like are a little open to the brown. They're down with the brown, you know. And so yeah, because there's guys, a lot of white guys, I would say they're the most picky. They just want white girls. I would say that's like half of white guys. Then a quarter are like, I like who likes me. And then, you know, maybe a quarter have a specific thing. Maybe actually I'll reduce that, maybe like 15% and 15, something like that. Yeah, I know. Any chick who's in shape is doing better than most. That's true. So, yeah, I mean, Zubia, if you look like that, you might not. I wouldn't be shocked if you don't. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Yes, we want all, get one of every color. That's what we want. I just haven't seen that as much with white guys. I don't think white guys interracially date as much. Like black guys almost prefer to like black guys tend to go for the whitest looking like black girl, in my opinion. But they're excited to like swap for Asian. And they're excited to swap for white. They really are. I don't really see that with Asian and white guys. They'll do it, but usually like I'll take Zubia here. Let's pretend she's like an African black girl that can like cook, right? If I was 22 again and competing with her, I didn't know how to cook when I was 22. I do now. But when I was young, I didn't. So, you know, she might outcompete me because I was more like career focused. Does that make sense? I'm like more career focused, if that makes sense. And that's how a lot of white women lose, is because we can be masculine. You know, we can, I feel like I click with the white guys here in London a lot. I bet you like the accents. You know what I mean? London, you're going to want to go put your dating app in West London and Canary Wharf during the day. If you have like Bumble or something, that's where all the if you're into like white finance guys, you're going to want to put it in Canary Wharf, especially if you're in East London, because that's easier to get to. Oh, you have a German accent. Okay, Zubia. All right. Okay, bitch. You know. Okay, so really though, I really am trying to build a community of like gender aware people. Gender aware, that kind of look at things from a gendered and even racial point of view at times. So if you're interested, guys, I am doing phone calls. Go to theaudacitynetwork.com. And sign up for my memberships. And then just email me justpearlythings@gmail.com from the email, or writing the email that you signed up with and your phone number. I'm going to find a better way to collect these, but that's just what I have for now. And me and Doug are going to call you. To be fair, there's a lot of calls, so there's like a 50% chance it's me. You got to take it or leave it. But maybe we'll see how many people sign up, but I'm really going to try to get through all of them, because I do want to say thank you guys. It really means a lot, because I was demonetized for 2 years and I really, really enjoyed doing this. Like, I love it. I really do. And I couldn't do it without you. So I really want to say thank you to the people, because when you sign up to theaudacitynetwork.com, it's funding, it's allowing me to stay employed, you know? This is on the Audacity Network, yes. Or if you donated to the GoFundMe for the divorce documentary, that's fine too. You just need to email me, justpearlythings@gmail.com. And you need to put the email or the name, like maybe screenshot your donation. Just make sure it matches like your email. You guys get it. No, I know. I just got a work phone. So don't try to call me and text me all the time. This is a work phone. That means this phone is not going to be on. This is my phone I use all the time and I have on me 24/7. That's going to be my phone for fans. So you can, if you spam it, I will block you. Okay. Number one, I will block you. And two, it's going to be off like half the time. I only turn it on when I'm so and I'm not saying this to be rude. I love you guys, but I can't. I don't have the time to have access 24/7. Maybe if we become the best of pals, maybe you'll get into the other one. I know the documentary could be amazing. We do. I hate that I keep having to like dick ride you guys about this, but I have to raise enough money to put the down payment on it. And it's $250K for me to manage the salaries of the people that would work on it. I found the team, I've done everything. But it's just not cheap. So I wish documentaries were cheaper, but I've given some of these editors cheaper pricing, and some take it, but they kind of suck. And I've hired an editor that sucked before that was cheap. And guys, I wasted so much money. I'm telling you. You can't hire a cheap editor. You really can't. Oh my God. I hate myself for hiring the cheap editor for last time for the doc. I wasted so much money. But now I'm ready. I know these people have a track record. It's just, anyways. I love you guys. You're the best. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like the show, the estimated cost, well, it's $250K. And that includes, I have one guy who would manage the project, one full-time editor, the cost of getting guests, flying them in and paying for their housing. And the distribution, I think the first one, and my time, the distribution, I do think would be, the distribution, I have two ways. I think the first one's going to be free on YouTube. The idea is this is going to be a series, and it'll be cheaper every time. The first time is more expensive because, you kind of have to factor in money wasted. I hate saying that. That doesn't sound I want to say, I won't waste a single dollar. Mistakes are going to happen, right? But this team is in Texas. So the more we can iron out this system, like the first documentary is What's in It for Men, and it's talking about marriage. The second one's going to be What's in It for Men, the military. Then the next one is What's in It for Men. Eventually, I'd like to have the documentaries just on my app and kind of that kind of distribution, but I don't think I have enough people on there for it to make sense. Tucker's team expressed interest in it, but again, they're not willing to fund it. So I'm like, yeah, the editor is king. I know I don't want to say how much money I wasted on an editor that just did not do his job because it's very embarrassing, but but you live and you learn. I will not hire a cheap editor again. I won't. So, and that covers a producer also. So someone to do the camera, someone to do the edits, someone that manages the project, and my time, and paying people to come in, possibly some big celebrities if we get enough money for their fees. But yeah. So anyways, I need to finish this. I need to stop. Actually, I'll show you guys one more thing that I thought was funny. We're building a new set upstairs because okay, never mind. I can't find this. It's all right. I'll show you next time. We are building a new set upstairs because now that I use the streaming station, I don't really need the set upstairs. So we're making it more of like a group studio. What the hell? Firefox. What the? Safari. How did I accidentally lose you? It's hard to... Oh, Chrome. That's it. Okay, now I'm actually ended. Thank you so much for watching. like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.